Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Hope everyone had a great trading day today. I just once again putting together a recap. Another profitable day. This is getting somewhat ridiculous and amazing. The best thing I can offer is I just hope that you guys try this, come to the Discord, give it a shot. Um, it, it's it's absolutely incredible. So I will. The first trade that I took today, I'll show you, was TSM. I was actually hoping TSM would come and would give us a pullback, but it didn't. So I did have my support and resistance levels marked. This was a support, but anyhow, 156 was a pretty significant level. Pre-market, we had some craziness take place, but then as markets before market started, you could see it started coming up. It's wicking off of the LRC line, and then when market opened and it cleared above right here, I waited. I bought in on this candle. I did make a mistake. I would have profited way more. I profited a lot on this actual trade, but I probably would have more than doubled my profit. And so the the mistake I made was I was going to buy 20 contracts, but I ended up buying two. Anyhow, I bought two right here on this candle. I think it looked better where it was. Right as it crossed over, and then when it came back down and started and wicked back up, because this went up, came down, and then wicked up here, I added two more. When it got to here, I added two more. In this candle, I ended up having eight right around, I think, this level. When it went up to, I think, this candle, I took like two off on this pivot down. Then I took two more off on a push. I think I took two at the top, two here. But 161.50 was my target. I actually ended up I took all but two, and I held all the way to right here. And this is where I got out, right here on this push. So I was up on this trade with eight contracts, roughly around 800 or roughly $900. But I ended up with, I think, 759 because I held the two and I got out on this push down. So I lost some traction there, and that's okay. I was really wanting to um, I wanted to get out, and I was going to get back in it, but I got sidetracked, got on another trade, which was fine because I profited on it as well. I did make a loss on an Amazon trade, and I'll show you where I went wrong on that trade. But so anyway, the way to trade this, it was absolutely just perfect, beautiful setups, right? Once this went here, I had mentioned to the group that we could probably look for a pullback now, because I went ahead and got out, and I was like, hey, I got out here, but if we get a pullback and it starts turning back up, I'm going to get back in. Of course, I was in something else, so I didn't do that, but this would have been the perfect spot. If you pay attention, look at how pullback came down. It literally hit the LRC top line, wicked back up. I would have bought right here on this green based off of this wick above the 20. 100% all day long. I would have got in as soon as this candle closed and this candle started moving up green. If it went back against me and closed below the LRC, that would be my stop out. But I would have bought here. I didn't, and I would have held it. I probably would have scaled out again at the 161.50, but I would have held for a push to the 163, which I had marked on our charts. I give this every morning. Every morning in Discord. It's free for now. Metal TA is what it's under, the channel Metal TA for technical analysis. You'll see the support and resistance levels. There's also another trader that you can follow, subscribe to, Desi Trade, the Options Insider. Amazing. He has a YouTube video. If you can find him on YouTube, I suggest you subscribe, like his videos, because he's probably the best in the business. He gives technical analysis, support and resistance levels. I do it now myself. I sometimes have some levels that may be different from him, but I do compare what he's coming up with and other traders just to see if I miss something or what have you. But I typically go over and make sure that what I'm seeing, what they're seeing, and vice versa. But anyhow, so there's a plug to Desi, or his name is Vince, but Desi Trade. Um, great guy, great community too on his Discord channel. So anyhow, this would have been, I would have got all out. I would have taken full profit here, and you could have traded this exactly the same way as I did, as I suggested here. Wait for your pullback, comes down to close to your level, closes on the 20 EMA. I use a 20 EMA, 200 EMA, LRC. I do not really use VWAP much anymore. I just use this strategy very clean. I don't have all those other indicators. It's to me the absolute best way to do it. I don't have to worry about all that junk giving me false signals. No more of that. Just straight up price action and levels. Right here would have been, once I got a wick up, this would have been my, okay, I'm going to focus on this now, right? I would pay attention. Next green above, I'm in. And then I would hold it until I got back to here again. I would scale out and see if I got a push above, and I would probably have held it through here, and probably got out, right here. I may have scaled back out right here once I got this big push down and then a push back up. You play it by ear. You trade differently as you go. I have a plan. I don't always stick to my plan. Sometimes I just go ahead and take profit. So my way of trading this is on the 2-minute time frame. The LRC strat. This is what I call it's an anchored LRC. That's what makes it, I guess, special and somewhat special. It was actually I discovered this by accident. I know that the original coder for the anchored LRC, I just found this out. I actually didn't know that he had done the anchored before. Was Mobius, and apparently, he's just a really great coder, very, very good at what he does. But I was literally just playing around with the LRC, which is this tool in Thinkorswim, and I was, pulling it and seeing how, the trend lines would go, and I just so happened to, I was testing it all over the place, and so I put it at the 4 a.m. to the 9:29 time, 9:29. I wanted it to be pre-market only, so from start to just before open. And when I did that, I noticed that it was incredible. Like the stocks just respected it, and I noticed that most of the trades out of it um, were great, somewhat breakout trades, kind of like you would in like an ORB type trading strategy. But what was really great is it gave me levels, and so the best part, I'll show you where I lost here on this one. This was Amazon. I got in too early, but it is what it is. I got in too early. What I had expected to happen did happen, but later in the day. So this is my LRC right here. The yellow, the red, the cyan, the red, the yellow. This is a 20 EMA, 200 EMA, and I had the 180 level drawn in as a pretty significant level, and it has been for Amazon. And where I took my loss, I got in right here. I was in profit on this push up, but I didn't get out. I was expecting this to move. Where I made a mistake here, if you look at 944, and this is where I the only time I lose, the only time I've ever lost on this strategy is when I'm going against the market, and I went against the market here. So if you see, now TSM was in a different story, and I'll explain why in a second. TSM had news, and that's why it was awesome right out of the chute. ARM was awesome right out of the chute as well today. But anyway, this was going down while I was trading to go up. I knew it. I was calling it out, and this is like the third time. I didn't lose a lot. I only lost like $120, so it wasn't a big deal. Didn't hurt my day. I was already up I was up 759 on the first trade, and but if you, I'll show you. Let's go back to Amazon. So this is where that's where I made my mistake. So I'm not going to trade Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, the major stocks that tend to run with the market anymore. If the market's going against me, I'm not even going to do it because it's not worth it. That would have been an extra $120 profit today, but I didn't get it. So anyhow, that was a mistake I made. But you can see once it got down, or once it got back above the 200 and the 20 and above the 80, we consolidated, which is a beautiful thing. I say be happy when it's consolidating. Your perfect entry was right here. You're riding the 180. You push up above the LRC, which then is going above your 20 and your 200. This is your perfect entry right here. I probably would have waited though, and I'll explain why. This is just how I trade. When I have consolidation, I look left, and I'll come in and I'll draw like a little line, and I will place that there, and once I break that, I get in. I don't tend to grab it here because if you notice, this did this several times. I want to see a break of this consolidation, and sometimes I'll just take my rectangle tool and I'll draw a rectangle around the consolidation and just further out, and I'll draw it just like that. And if my price breaks above my rectangle, I get in. If my price breaks below the rectangle, I'll get in. And I won't get in otherwise, because you may just do this more and get faked out and take a loss. So anyhow, that's how I would have got in. I would have got in right here when this crossed this last high, and I would have held this all the way up to, this is a big LRC. That's a manually drawn one from an hour out. I find that it does a good job of showing me, once I'm outside of the LRC, other pivot points that may come into play. So anyhow, that's the loss I had today, was right here. I got in early. It really looked like it was going to continue, but market was going down. I should never have entered here until we had an up move in the market, which is when we had it right around here, and that was a perfect setup. So just a mistake on my part. We all have mistakes every day. I do have to say though, if you haven't watched my videos, or this is the first time you've watched it, I have now been trading, I think, over 4 weeks. I haven't even looked at my time frame. I think time's kind of going by faster, so it may be closer to 5 weeks now. I have literally not had a losing day at all, except for one day. And I'm not going to say I wouldn't have had a losing day that day, but I traded EMPH in phase. It was right out of the box. I traded it against the market. The market was going down. I traded calls. I lost, I think it was close to $1,000 on that trade, because it went against me, and I kept holding, waiting for it to go up. And I had an appointment that I had to stop trading and go to, and I was wanting to get back to my office so I could trade some more, but I wasn't able to get back in time before the day ended. So that was my first loss, the only loss I've had on a day. Every single day since I've started trading this strategy, except for that day, I've had a profitable days. It's been absolutely incredible. It's been blowing, but also it's caused me to be extremely confident, calm, and relaxed with my trades. I really wasn't like that all the time. I trade the break and retest strategy in the Options Insider Discord. I'm still a member, and I still go in and I trade with them while they're trading sometimes, and I'll listen to areas that they're looking at, and so it's just more information for us as traders to use, to our advantage. But I have to say the LRC has completely changed my trading, or I should say the Anchored LRC, because it is different. Then I did get into a couple SPX calls today, which were perfect. I'll show you how I traded those. I use SPY because SPX won't work with the LRC because there isn't pre-market data. You're not going to get anything. So you have to use SPY to trade it. Whoops. I wish Charles Schwab would fix the freezing. This has been happening a lot since the migration to their platform. It'll let me get to it here in a minute, or it'll give me one of those little errors. It's really ridiculous. Come on. Look how long that takes. I actually lost money the other day. I was in a trade, and all I was trying to do is zoom out or click on something to change it, and I lost a little bit of money in a trade that I was in because of it. So it kind of sucks. So let's see where I was at. Okay, today it was like a perfect setup on the LRC. On the SPX. So where was I at? I just zoomed way over for some reason. Okay. This was the trade I took right here. So I saw this come down, and God, why does it keep popping to the right? Okay, I'm sorry. It came down. It was below the 20. But I noticed that when the red candle hit the LRC, it wicked up. It closed here, but then we had a green kind of wick down, and then once we got above the 20, it was golden. I literally just took it. I sat down at my desk for my appointment. When I saw this happening. This had already happened. I saw this. I actually got in right here. And I got out like right in here for $190 profit. Or I think it was like right here. But anyway, regardless, I made $190 profit on that. And then it came back down and did it again. It came down. You had some wicks. You had a pullback, perfect pullback level. I got in, and this one I only made like I think $70 or $80. But these were just like really nothing more than kind of padding my profit today. I don't advise trading SPX. It's really rough. It'll cause you to FOMO out. It's hard to trade it because it's a 10 times the SPY, right? So your volatility is insane. Your you will be like, you may get in on this candle, and just the move on that candle, you could be down $200. So if you can't stomach that, don't do it. It's not worth it. Just get in SPY calls and just use SPY calls. Of course, you won't profit as much, but you also won't lose as much if if it goes against you. The only reason I do it, and I typically wait till later in the day, and I always make sure that I've already put a good amount of profit away before I do it. And that way, if I get into a trade, say it's a $3 per contract on SPX, the max loss is $300. But I mean, I'm not going to let it go down all the way and lose 300, but I could lose 100, could lose 200. But also with that, I could gain another $300, $400. And I've done that a lot of times. And I've also lost some. But here lately, using the LRC strategy, it's just almost too easy. And I mean that seriously. I know that no one, and there's going to be a lot of critics, and people are going to hear me say that, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're an idiot. Nothing's." This has been absolutely easy. The guys in my group, I think for the most part, maybe not everyone has had success like I have with it yet. But I think that's also just a part of having the confidence in it and trusting the levels. Most of the people that write, they're all profiting now. I think a good amount of the people in the Discord now are profiting every day along with me. They may not even take these. And what's beautiful about this, I'll show you. This is how it works. I have grids set up, so, and I have those shared in the Discord. You can get my workspace. All of this is in there. So when the day starts, you're literally watching the grids, and you're watching and seeing, okay, what's around the 20, the 200? Where's the LRC? Is price by the LRC? Is it by a support and resistance level? Those are the things that we focus on. AMD, look at ARM today. ARM was amazing. I missed this. I called this out. I was busy with TSM and I missed this trade, and it was an amazing trade. I'll actually show you that as well, and then I'll finish up because this is getting long-winded. But if you look at ARM right here, this was again just so easy, so perfect, and you could have profited, or I could have profited. Anybody that got in it could have profited so much. It was a perfect setup. You're opening the day. You have your push back down on this candle, which I like. I want moves back down and then a move back up, or a move way down, or I'm sorry, and a move way up and then a move down. Either way, I don't care, as long as I see it cross over my LRC, the 20 and the 200, and the two. This is another. That was just another drawing that I drew in. So. A horizontal line. This one would have been perfect to, you get this green candle, you get in as soon as it moves over the close of this candle, not the high. I take them over the close. It's a little more aggressive. You could even wait for two closes, two greens, and then get in. But I like to get in here, and if it goes against me, I get out, and I'm really close to my risk. But this was absolutely, just every part of this was perfect. Look at the levels we had drawn in, 130. It went straight up. As soon as my wicks get within, a few cents of my major level, I scale out heavily. So I probably would have been like 10 contracts. I probably would have taken 8 off here. And then waited, look for the pullback, and then a potential move above. And as soon as I got this move here, I probably would have added in. That's just the way I trade now. I add in and try to catch more. So I would probably only have 2. I probably would have added 2, been up 4. Most likely would have taken profit here. I would have got out of 2, maybe all of them here, because that was such a big move. But you could have literally, scaled out again on the second push, waited for the pullback, see what happens at this level. This might cause you to FOMO out, but it never went below the 20. It did go below your 130, but it only went and closed below one time. I have like a 2 close rule for getting out of major levels. Sometimes it causes me to lose a little more, but that's okay. I find that it's worth the risk because this happens a lot of the times. And I'll show you, there's a lot of examples. So this I would have absolutely bought back in on this wick up. It would have got my attention because it's pushing up off the 20. It doesn't have to come all the way to the 20, so don't think of this as a wider zone, okay? So if it pushed up off the 20, as soon as I got this move above this candle right here, I may have just taken this one, so it just depends on how it played out. This went up. I may have got in because of the big push, but let's say you played it safe, you wait for this close, and then you take this candle right here as soon as it passes the close, and then you ride it up and you take all profit. I would have got out of everything as soon as I hit this 132, because 132 is a big level. And I'll explain one more thing. This is how you trade the 20 and big levels. So pay attention. Like right here, let's just say you held and you were holding it for the longer term of the day. If you want to do that, you can, but you can. I get out with 2 closes below the 20 or 2 closes below a big level. This is the first close. Your second candle literally closed above the big level and maybe above or right on. I would have stayed in. I would not have got out on that. Same here. You have one close here, you move above. You have another close, you move back above. You stay in it. Close below, move back above. Close below, you don't get back above. You closed out here. That's where I would get out. Sometimes, this is just something to consider as well. I try to just stick with the one rule, but I also pay attention to price action. If this candle is literally at the same spot. I may wait to see what the next candle does, because at that point I'm not going to lose any more with another candle going down. I mean, I may lose a little bit, but not a lot. So I don't like really get too concerned. Now, if this candle starts going down below and closes down here, I'm out for sure. But if I get a close that's right here by this, I'll wait and see what this next candle does. So it kind of negates my two close idea, but I do base it off of what I notice. And if I was paying attention to this, this is just showing you consolidation, and you kept, well, you did wick down here, but you wicked back up really good there, so that's kind of telling me to stay in. But then I probably would have got out, yeah, right here anyway, so it's in the same spot. But that's just an example of a way that I trade it. But some of the other traders that would have taken this, they would have just stayed in this thing, and then 132 would have been their new next stop out, and they would not get out of this until they had a couple candles below the 132. They would have ran this all the way, the whole day. So it would have been an amazing trade all day if I had got in it. But I wouldn't have ran it the whole day. I don't typically do that. So that wraps up today's trading. It was amazing. It was easy. It was. I'm not kidding. It was just so easy and calm in our Discord. It was like, okay, I'm taking here, I'm adding here, I'm adding here. Boom, boom, boom. And I think most everybody profited today. I think there was one guy that may not have, because he took, I believe, the Amazon trade with me. And I don't know that he took the really good one, but he took the Amazon trade, and that one went against him. And I believe he ended red today, but it was very nominal. I believe it was pretty low. But for the most part, everybody is profiting off of this system. It's just super easy. It gets rid of all the fuss. You don't have to worry about all the indicators and what this is saying and what that's saying. It's just simple, and that's what I like about it, and it works. And I hope you guys will come in and join us. My link to my Discord will be in the description down below. Please like and subscribe, and share. Help me out. Try to get the message out. Let's build a really great, community in the Discord, and people helping each other. Our next, we were discussing it together today as a group, not the entire group, but a good group of us. We're going to get together and have like a swing trading channel where we try to commit to maybe a swing trade once a week. I'm not great at swing trading. I have to get better at it, but that's the whole point, is all of us working together to come up with a really good trade, and we can collaborate on it, whether it's positive or negative, on the trade, and then make a decision yourself, whether or not you want to get into the trade. I am definitely not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not come to me for financial advice. If you take any trades, you're taking them on your own. They're your trades, to manage. And I will tell you what I'm doing, and I'll tell you that what looks good or what I think looks good. But you have to be the you have to take care of your own trades and trade what you want to trade. But I do hope to see you guys in the Discord, and please like and share. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.